Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Ask the Attorney. My name is Blair Clark, and I am here with the fabulous
Fabulous.
David Sobel. How are you
That's
doing
so
tonight,
nice.
David?
I'm good. I feel great. I
Good.
feel ready to go.
Awesome.
Energized. Yeah.
Yes. Well, David is our attorney, and I am the interviewer, so he's the interviewee. And what we do each week is we bring questions that have been called in, emailed in to David's office, and they all have to do with real estate law. So, David, if you can break down the different areas that you focus on for people and then let them know how can they reach out to you if they have any sort of real estate law questions themselves.
Well, first of all, I just want to clarify, our main focus is real estate law, but because it intersects with so many other areas of law. And so we deal with a lot of financial issues related to mortgages and what we call secured transactions, contracts, estate planning, and probate matters when they intersect with the real estate law. So we're really involved in those areas. And the way that people can reach me and my office is they can go to they can call 888-789-1715, or they can go online, type in my name, David Sobel, or they can go to provenresource.com. And that's pretty much it. I mean, you can just type in my name, David Sobel, and the URL. And I think there's an entertainment lawyer in Arizona with the same name. And then there's myself. So you can either be entertained by him or you can kind of be entertained by me.
Is it like a stand-up attorney instead of a stand-up comedian?
I hear he's a really nice guy. All I know is people have called us. There's been some confusion in the past on some stuff, and I'm like, nope, I'm here in Michigan. I wish I was in Arizona, but
that's
nope.
funny.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, if you, meaning the viewer, are not already watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this elsewhere, also check out David's YouTube channel just by going to the search bar and doing the same thing. Type in David Sobel, Proven Resource, Sobel Law, and you will find his YouTube channel, which is a plethora of videos, just like the one that you're watching, a wealth of knowledge and information. I make videos with David, but then sometimes I go back and watch them myself to learn about the things that we already talked about, because they apply not just to the average home buyer or home seller, but they also apply to the real estate investor, which is what I do. And so if you're a real estate investor, then plug into David's content as well, because it is very, very valuable. So what we do is we go down a list of questions that I have here. And tonight, David, we have 7. So let's start with the first one from Simple Math in Sumter Township. And Simple Math writes in, can a seller's realtor sue me if I cancel the purchase agreement and back out of a closing that did not occur by the date listed in the purchase agreement? Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is from someone in Saline. Never mind. They were kind of squished together there. Someone in Saline.
Well, you know what, Blair, real quickly, you might want to just say how people get these questions real quick. Every week, I have law clerks that work at the office. They clerk at the office, and we basically aggregate different questions that come in. Actually, the clerks do, and they put the most interesting questions that come in during the weeks between our meetings, and then they put them on a questionnaire, and then we sit here and we go through them. So I just want to make sure people understand where they're coming from. These are actual questions.
Yes, these are actual people who write in, and then to protect the public, David's clerks also come up with clever, usually alliteration style names for them. So this is someone in Saline. So they're asking, can a seller's realtor sue me if they cancel the purchase agreement?
Well, here's the thing. If the person who canceled the transaction and they're about to close, and they cancel, and there was actually legitimately a transaction that should have closed, if it's the buyer who failed to close, the seller's agent has no, what we call privity. They don't have any contractual relationship with the buyer. So the legal remedy for a seller, before we get to the seller's agent, a seller could actually sue the buyer for not closing. And that would be a form of an action called specific performance, or they can sue for other damages. But here's the thing. The seller's agent can sue the seller if the seller is the one who refuses to close. Okay?
Yes. Okay.
Depends on the party. And that's because the seller had made a representation in a listing agreement. It's called a listing agreement, which is the agreement between the seller and the listing agent that says, hey, if I close and you bring me a buyer, or you're helping me with the transaction, you as a selling agent get a commission. So if it doesn't close, that obligation's still out there. I have quite a few cases over the past several years where a seller's realtor can sue a seller for a real estate commission if the seller backs out of the deal. Different when it comes to the buyer.
Okay. So the second portion of this is that the closing did not occur by the date listed in the purchase agreement. So I assume that's the reason why they backed out.
Yeah. We don't know everything. You know, you can't get everything in a question, but I mean, generally, that's the answer. A selling realtor has no legal rights against a buyer, okay? The seller's realtor can't do anything to a buyer. Now, how about the buyer does not close, refuses to close, and the buyer has a buyer's agent? The buyer's agent can sue the buyer.
Okay. So it's whoever represents you, but not across.
Right, you can't cross the boundaries there.
Right.
It's called privity. There's a contract, there's a contractual relationship, and that contract allows either agent to sue their principal. The seller or the buyer are the principals, and the real estate agents are the agents of the principal. Getting too legal, I don't like getting too legalese. All I can say is that to this question, this person is Saline. Most likely not.
Okay. All right. Very good to know.